Hey there, this is Amanda Bay in IT, and today I'm going to show you how to edit and approve time cards in the UltiPro website. So first, log in to the UltiPro website, and from there, click on Menu, My Team, Time Management. There are multiple ways to do the same thing in UltiPro. First, we're going to look at the summary screen. The summary screen will show all of my opened timesheets for all of the employees that I have access to see their timesheets for. Few things that you can do here. You can sort by any one of these columns. So if it was the end of the pay period and I wanted to see everyone that had a missed punch, I can just click on missed punch and I can see that there's 3 people that have missed punches. If I want to see people that have overtime, I can click on the overtime column and it will show me all of the people with overtime hours at the top of the column. From this screen, if I feel that everyone is fine, my hours are a total of 40, which I should have, I can either approve individual time cards by clicking on that line's drop down and approving them, or I can approve this entire page and all of these time cards that you see here will be set to the approved status. But let's go back to the missed punches. So I can't approve these time cards yet. I still have some work to do. What I can do is I can click on the person's name to go directly to their timesheet. So now what you'll see is up at the top, I switched from the summary tab to the timesheet tab. So now I'm looking at Brian Inglesby's timesheet for the current pay period. If you're not seeing the information that you expected, make sure that you're on the correct pay statement or pay time period. On the left-hand side, I can see all of my employees here, again, that I have access to see. I can quickly flip from one time card to the next by clicking previous employee or next employee. If I would rather have this real estate on my monitor, I can minimize that left-hand side. If I want to see more information of what I can do from this page, I can maximize the right-hand side screen. So I'm going to minimize the right side, I'm going to maximize the left again. Another thing to note, if you have a lot of employees, I can actually just type the employee name in and it will bring me directly to that employee's timesheet. So continuing on, I can see the summary. The summary will show me by pay code all of the different regular hours and overtime. So Brian only has work hours. These are hours that he'll be paid for. If he had time off, whether it was paid medical leave, jury duty, or whatever, you would see those pay codes broken out on the summary with a list of the total of hours that were attributed to that pay code. Going down, I can see his accrual for personal leave and medical leave, and at the very bottom, I see the timesheet detail. So if Brian did not punch in at all, then I would see nothing in his timesheet detail. But I do see Monday through Wednesday. And here's his missed punch. So it shows up in red. It tells me it's a missed punch. I can put my cursor in that box and say that he left at 4:45 p.m. that day. I can either hit tab. If I hit tab, then I will need to save my timesheet, or I can hit enter and it will automatically save my timesheet. See right here, it's processing. So if you're adding multiple rows at a time to a timesheet, I suggest you navigate via clicking the tab button. But if you're just adding one row and want to commit that line to be saved, then I would hit the enter key when I'm done. So Brian hasn't punched in on Thursday, so I am going to add a line for Thursday. So I select the column or the row that's empty, and in the date, I select the date. So this was Thursday the 6th. He was out sick on paid medical leave for 4 hours. So I select paid medical leave. You do not have to do anything with project unless you've been directed to do so. Now, when I select paid medical leave, I cannot click inside the in and the out columns. I cannot put a time. What you have to do for paid medical leave and personal leave is you have to click in the regular column. So I'm going to say that he was out for 4 hours today. And then again, if I hit tab, I can still continue to make changes without the timesheet being saved. So let's say that he was here for the first part of the day. I'm going to select Thursday again, and 0 is work hours. If I just type in the number 0, it will pull up work hours. Otherwise, I could click the drop-down arrow and go up to the top and select work hours. Now here, I have to put time in the in and the out columns. If I click on regular or overtime, I am not able to click within those fields. So let's say he was in from 8 a.m. tab, and put my cursor in the out, and he was out at 12 tab. Okay, so now if I save the record, it'll come back, and at the top of my summary, see now that I have work hours as one pay code and paid medical leave as another pay code. If I was all set with this timesheet and we populated the whole entire pay period, I can approve this timesheet from this screen. And there are 2 ways to do this. I can click the approved button down in the timesheet detail, or I can go up to status, click open, which provides me a drop-down arrow, and then I can click approved. You do not have to use the submit option. Approved is what managers and time card approvers should be using. This is what then sends the time card over for payroll to know that they can process this time card. Submit is if employees have the ability to edit their own time cards, and you are, as a manager, are asking them to submit the time card to you so that you can go in, validate it, and approve it. So we're going to select approved, and it will then lock the time card out. It will tell me the approval date and time. Notice I can't, down under timesheet details, I can't add lines. I don't have any options up here to add lines or delete or save. And the status is approved, and it says who approved it. If I approved this time card by mistake, I can click the approved button again and then change it to open. If the time card has actually truly been moved into payroll and payroll is working all of the time cards, then you will not be able to reopen the time card. The status will say payroll. So if I'm done with Brian's time card, I can click next employee and go to the next employee. Here again, I see that there is a punch missing. So I can put in that that person left at 5 p.m. And if I want to save this time card, instead of hitting tab, I can just hit enter, and it will automatically process and save this time card for me.